responsibility for an attack in Congo. In a story that doesn't get a ton of attention, it does now.
This place, Congo, you probably heard about it, right? What I'm showing you right now is a depiction of colonial misery that ended there 80 years ago. But no, there's a crisis. Something's really happening there that the world is not paying attention to it so much. A silent war, a war of minerals that have been deadly for years, leaving more than 7 million people dead, and even further displacing more than 6 million people from their home. But why is this happening? Why is it international bodies are not taking responsibility of ending the war? And how did this war mineral start in the first place? Now, to understand that question, we have to go back to the colonial times. So it started with this guy, Stanley, who was an explorer, and when he returned to Europe, he reported how rich and full of resources Congo was. One of the people who was excited by this report was the Belgian king, this guy, King Leopold, who was that time very hungry for colony, and for years he had no success of acquiring one. So in 1884 Berlin Conference, King Leopold presented his quest of establishing Congo as a Belgian colony, which he ended up making it as a personal property. This was the time when revolution of industries in Europe was taking place, and with the vast quantity of rubber in the Congo forest, King Leopold saw an opportunity of becoming rich. So he deployed his private army to this newly formed colony in Africa, who subjected the Congolese people to hard labor, torture, and even death, all in all in the collection of rubber. Those who refused or even failed to meet up their quantity of rubber collection were maimed. Women and children were captured, held hostages, worked in very horrible conditions, and even died of starvation. These atrocities led to more than 12 million people dead. As a result of extraction of rubber, led to more discovery of more natural resources in the region. This was just the beginning of instability, conflict, and suffering the Congolese people are facing today. So even after independence in 1960, the colonizers could not just leave. Why? They just discovered minerals like copper in the Katanga region, which were very profitable at that time. Even with the newly formed government of Congo, they still wanted to control these natural resources, and even a suggestion was made to declare Katanga province as an independent country from Congo. This led to tension in the newly formed country, making it very easy to manipulate people in the newly formed government. But you see, there was a problem. The rest of leaders like Patrice Lumumba, who wanted a united nation and even turned for the Soviets for help to stabilize the country, really pissed off the Belgians, and so they found a way to get rid of him. The rise of tension in the region, rich with the natural resources, became a lucrative business for the outsiders, since they could eat the pie while Congolese were busy fighting themselves. So over the years, there's been expansion of mines, displacement of millions of people, conflict of who controlled the mines, leaving more than 7 million people dead, while on the other hand, more than 450 international companies are operating in the area. This answers the question of, why is the war not ending? You see, for more than 20 years now, Congo is a very good example that shows how war, conflict, and suffering can be very profitable. Congo is a home of more than 110 million people, but 70% of the population is living in poverty, while $24 trillion worth is sitting on the ground. Some of it is being exploited by the outsiders.